All right, Tamago, this is on you. You questioned the system. And because you questioned the system, this is all your fault. Now everything in the Twilight Forest has to die. Because we should never question the system on another episode of Statech Industry. As I should hope should be obvious from the opening, I went back to the Twilight Forest like I said I was going to and completely finished it out because I realized we were very quickly coming to the end of the pack. So in addition to that, I also went and found a couple of the artifacts that I was missing, started finishing out some of the food, although we have huge gaps here yet that we still need to address, and I started working on Spectrum. You can see a lot of this is filled out, but there's still a problem with Spectrum in that I don't know what I'm missing. Maybe because I've never triggered the advanced with the mixing runes or the bedrock runes, but like if we go to the pigment palette here, which is right after refined azurite, and we click through the recipe, I still don't have the recipe. So that's really kind of disappointing, but I guess I at least have some rock candy being made down here, which isn't really well explained, but you need to have a block above your liquid crystal, and you just put the sugar stick in there, and it attaches to the top block, and it slowly builds up over time. This one's not ready yet. But Spectrum's not what you're here for, is it? Because I probably said what we were doing in the thumbnail or the title or something, intelligent like that, and what we need to do is actually get moving forward towards the end of the pack. Because I realized while prepping for this episode, and I did prep for a change, I realized that we are going to get through this much more quickly than I had anticipated, because while I was planning on doing the fusion reactor today, I took a quick look at these recipes and realized that most of these are frankly just A2 patterns that I need to set up and start cooking. And we already have a lot of the subcomponents made for it, but I realized right before this episode that we have a problem, because I did let stuff bake in between episodes, and we've got a ton of materials, more than we did have previously, up into the thousands for a lot of things, but the digital circuit there is at 0 right now. And it's because I made a ton of the highly advanced machine hulls, which I'm realizing may have been a mistake. Because while they are very, very expensive, I thought I had needed them for the fusion chamber here. But going back through this recipe right here, I thought it was this casing right here, and it's not. It's not even the superconductor coil. It's not used here at all. So I'm not going to lie, I don't know how I got confused on this one. Oh, hey, or maybe I didn't get confused, and maybe this is what I was looking at now that I'm thinking about it again, where I need 203. You know what? Ignore everything I just said about making a mistake. We do need those, and all of them. So I need to remember to do my homework before I start filming. Yeah, I think so. So the reality is I just need to go set up a whole bunch of AE2 patterns. So I guess let me get started on that, and I can get materials made to make the first fusion reactor, and we can explain what we're doing from there. And yes, I said first. All right, mistakes have been made. This is kind of predictable at this point, huh? The superconductor coil is not an AE2 recipe. It needs to be in an assembler because it needs to be constantly making them because we need a bunch of them. However, these are very, very expensive because they require cooling cells, which require these small heat exchangers, which thankfully I've got 1,500 of them made right now, but we need them for the large heat exchangers to make the fusion chambers with. So they're expensive, and it was kind of an oversight, but I've got these cooking now, but that's not the only problem, because I apparently ran out of stainless steel again, and thankfully the backlog is starting to pick back up, but we have a problem with the rotors, which are used in the pumps that are used to make the heat exchangers. So this needs to fill back up and get started again, which is also why we ran out of digital circuits. Somehow I ran out of stainless steel dust. So, yeah, it's because I was making chromium ingots for a different part, but that shouldn't have run the whole supply out. Something weird happened. I don't know what, and it's time to just let things cook for a little bit so that I can get moving on with a fusion reactor. I guess I can go work on some more of these missing foods while I wait, huh? All right, so it's been probably around an hour now, and we have most of the parts of the fusion reactor other than the part that I am worried that is going to mess up my systems for a while because we need to yank out over 200 of these. But in the meantime, I did get quite a bit of the food chapter done, mostly the top half up here, so we actually made some decent progress while that was going on. There are a couple problem children lurking in here though, because these are all of the biomes you'll go fruits that I need to go find and haven't yet. And then there's a couple promenade ones that I haven't found that may or may not be on the village trader that I haven't gone looking at for them yet. And that's not even getting down into Spectrum, which is its own problem, where we have all of these recipes that I just don't have because I don't know what I'm missing. It might be the jade bulb that I haven't found yet, but that's not my problem right now because we need to go build a fusion reactor. And the fusion reactor is a big chonky boy right here. As you can see, it's absolutely ginormous, and I don't know where I'm going to put this because it's 15 by 15, which looking at these cubes that I've made in my base, this is a 13 by 13, but if I remove the stairs, it's the right size. the one back here. However, it's not because I never pushed the wall back, so maybe I'm going to need to push the wall back some more. Or maybe I can put it over here. No, of course not. I don't have two of these together. But I think, well, that would give me symmetry, though, one on each side, assuming I even have the materials to build the second one. So I guess let's drop this one right next to the nuclear reactor here. And by drop it right here, I, of course, mean I need to go make the hatches because I forgot to make the hatches before I started. All right, and with this, we finally have a valid fusion reactor. And let me tell you, I had to take screenshots of the ponder screen because there's no visualizer for this, and this was a giant pain to get right because these blocks are just weirdly laid out internally and externally. So that's done. I just need to add the hatches, and the hatches can only be added to the center blocks here. So let me go figure out how I want to wire this up. All right, so I've got the hatches in. I've got A2 wired up to it. We have the output hatches over here. I'm using import buses. Hopefully that will be fast enough to bring it in. Otherwise, I can switch it over to an interface later. And same thing over here, but export buses into the input hatches holding deuterium. I do not have this turned on currently. It just has power sitting over that cell that I need to go plug in. But this is all set up and working, so we should just have to plug it in and it should start up. So I guess let's hope that this works. It's not making any noises. It doesn't look like it's doing anything. Oh, because I'm passing HV into an EV hatch. Yeah, that's a problem. Let's try this again. Okay, it appears to be taking power, although maybe we don't have to bootstrap it. Oh, that's very loud. But there we go, pretty slowly, but it hasn't built up any efficiency, and it is, wow, that is going to eat up a ton of power. Is this eating it faster than we can make it? It sure is. We need some more steam turbines here, so let me go turn this back off. That said, the input hatches seem to be keeping up at low speed, and the output hatches I need to go put into storage cells. But right now, you can shut up. Can I put a control on you? Oh, I can. All right. You can stop draining my whole system of power for the time being. Oh, this is going to be a problem, though. This is stainless steel. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, that's clean stainless steel right there, though, and that's what I need other than the piping. So I think we should be okay, maybe. Hopefully, possibly. I don't know. Let me get one set up, or two, or three. Probably two more. All right, two more turbines added. The steam appears to be stable. It's just fluctuating between 59 and 61 in the pipe, so we're getting enough into these. They all seem to be properly loaded. The battery's full. I guess let's go flip this on again and see what happens. Okay, the battery is still draining, but that might be because it's refilling over there. Let's go see. That's staying full. That is getting used up completely. We may need more than one energy hatch here and more energy coming in. This is not the problem I was expecting to have here, actually, although the power might be solved if I make another fusion reactor to burn the plasma in the plasma turbine we should be making next. But, did you stabilize or are you running out? You're still running out. That is unfortunate. Oh, hey, and I never did output this stuff, so this is probably going to shut off shortly. Yeah, we need to go make a storage cell for this, but that's at least getting me started. Well, let's turn this back off again for a minute. Now, I'm only going to put this in a 1K fluid storage cell for now, because I don't know how much of this I actually need, and if it just turns off the fusion reactor, that would be fine. Oh no, this is unfortunate. Oh no, I still have 2 slots. We're good. But there we go, the 5 buckets of plasma we have made thus far. That said, that is not going to make very much neutronium. That's only going to make, that's not great. What do I do here? I'm kind of glad I didn't rip out the steam generators over here like I have been pondering, because that's at least helping out. But, maybe we just turn this on, or we set it up to take a redstone signal to shut off when my overall power's too low, although I did figure out a way to do that in this pack. It should be doable. I know it can be done via create if nothing else. But you are not looking so healthy. Well, I guess let's make the problem worse and add another EV hatch, because this will at least make sure that it has more power feeding into it. Maybe it won't shut off immediately. I don't know, let's see what happens here. No, it's still draining power, so we need more hatches even. Wow. That is obnoxious. Okay, so one of the problems here is steam throughput into these turbines. There's not enough in the pipes. The pipes are basically empty, and these are not getting all the way filled, so I don't think they're burning at their max capacity. So I need to figure out a way to increase that. Maybe I can just put more off of the enemy interface. Maybe that'll work. Hopefully. No, we don't need you to be circular, though. That would be bad. Is that helping? That doesn't appear to be helping. Maybe we just need another ME interface. That actually might solve the problem. Okay, that did solve the steam throughput issue. We have plenty in the pipe. The pipe is still mostly filling up, although it's not completely maxing out, which is a little concerning. But the turbines appear to be staying full, and the pipe seems to be running at parity at this point, so it's not running out. So that, you know, that's probably how much is pulling out of the pipe at a time now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, that's about 19K, which is about the transfer rate, so I think we are okay. Yeah, let's go make sure this battery's full, and let's go flip it on again and be disappointed again, probably. As we watch it rip all the power back out of this battery. Oh, well, it's still going down. No, it's actually, I think we had one more turbine, we might be okay. Excellent. We are almost there. And actually, I can possibly leave this on while I build the next one. Although the overclocking is going to mess everything up here, because that's going to make it very, very expensive. Although this is also going to throttle how much power it can get anyway. So I think we might be okay. Maybe, possibly. The efficiency doesn't seem to be going up, so it might be just completely throttled by power right now. So that's good. So let's build one more turbine, which is all the space we have. Oh, well, I can bridge that over that way. We have room for one more turbine total here. Although I can always just build them backwards here, although I need to push the wall out again. All right, surely, hopefully, this time we are at a positive. The bank's filled up on the fusion reactor. Let's go flip the switch and see what happens this time. Hooray, we are losing all our power probably. Okay, that's full. This is going, yeah. And then let's check this battery to see if it's empty or if it's going up. Well, it's still losing power. That's unfortunate, but it's not going down very quickly, but that's still bad. Yeah, I don't know what to do. We are getting what we need in, but we need to make like more neutronium than that. I guess maybe the only way out is through. Maybe we'll make a plasma turbine and then actually burn the plasma for power, because it makes quite a bit, but that might be able to keep us powered up, huh? Well, this is just burning at an absolutely ridiculous rate. That's already significantly more than I am making over there, but we are going to be burning through our plasma pretty quick. I've only got this in a steel fluid hatch to keep a smaller amount in here, but this went from 25 down to 7, and we're not even close to filling the bank on this. So we need to set up a P2P to run out here to feed into that so we can turn that back on full time and hopefully start making more plasma. Okay, so in theory, I have this all set up now. This is directly outputting down into the energy hatch here. Unfortunately, I had to use a storage unit here, as well as behind the turbine itself to act as proxies to pass through the P2P tunnel. Maybe I could have just run cabling across, but it would have been ugly. And now let's turn it back on and see if we have enough power to keep this going. It looks like it's going up, so I think we are okay. It looks like we're going to be using up all the plasma for a while, though, unless I find some way to throttle that and or turn it off. I can probably just turn it off, honestly. But this also isn't running all of the time because we aren't getting very much helium plasma right now. But that still puts me in a better spot than I was a little bit ago, so now we can do the arduous task of building a second one of those for parity on the other side. Now, yeah, I don't want to do that, but we're going to, because that's what we're going to do to finish the pack. Well, I just lubricated this, which quickly tanked the power in the battery and ran it out, but we're now running at about half efficiency and it's coming in pretty quickly. We now have over 100 buckets of helium plasma to provide power with, and the deuterium is still at 28K, so I think we're doing okay right now. That said, the battery is more or less staying empty at all times. I mean, I could build another plasma turbine, but that would defeat the purpose of what we're doing here, since what we need to do is build another one of these. So I guess it's stable enough that I can actually go get work on this now and feel okay about it, huh? All right, so we're going to do the thing I didn't want to do, and we're only going to do one fusion reactor for now. I did set up a second plasma turbine because I thought adding more power would help with this, but it really just increases this from like 90-something efficiency to 130, I think, which isn't a huge gain. I'm going to keep the second turbine around in case I ever do create the second fusion reactor, but I'm only going to go with one for now. I'm going to change the input so that we can start getting neutronium. because we have quite a lot of the plasma right now. So I'm just going to cut that over directly. What we don't have, however, are small heat exchangers, which we need to make the large ones in very large numbers to make a second reactor. And that was due to my stainless steel running out. And I did upgrade my supplies some because I added another, whoops, not far enough over. I added another tungsten blast furnace back here that's processing it. And then I added another freezer over there to chill it back down. But it's still going to be quite a while before it catches back up to where it needs to be to finish all the advanced pumps to make the heat exchangers. So we're just going to live with this. And we're just going to cut this top one over to helium plasma, once this deuterium runs out. Or you know what, I don't have to wait. We can just empty that. There we go. And we'll just stick it into a extremely large drive because it doesn't matter. We'll take as much as we can get. And then remember that we need another disk drive. Oh, I don't have anywhere nice and pretty to put this anymore. I'm running out of space real fast here. Not that this was pretty to begin with, mind you. I guess we'll just shove it under the stairs here. You know what? I probably have to stop this entirely now that I'm thinking about it to make this work, because the neutronium wasn't coming out of here and it didn't look like it was consuming the plasma. So that's empty. That's empty. Let's turn it back on now. And now it has the correct inputs, but still the wrong outputs. It's still outputting this. I wonder if I need to explicitly change it to neutronium. I probably do. Well, you know what? I wonder if it's because this was locked to tritium. Okay, let's see if this works. I'm seeing a whole lot of nothing come in here, but... Oh, probably because it hadn't finished yet. Do we have neutronium? We have neutronium, finally. But not a bucket, so I can't get the quest, but we had to start it somewhere, right? But that more or less finishes up this wing. Now we can move on to this wing, which this is why I figured we were going to be getting through this much quicker than I had thought, because now we can make the core mining drill to get core fragments to make the ultra-dense metal balls. We will not be doing this part yet, though. The Singularity Forge is a lot. And the core mining drill is just a whole bunch of parts, although unfortunately it's stainless steel, so hopefully we can make the core mining drill itself. Awesome, it's just clean stainless steel. We should be okay. The bigger issue is that it uses Desh drills, so we'll have to see how much that we need. I might end up having to do what I did for the Ostrom just a little bit ago while I was doing the fusion reactor and have to go manually mine some with, Fortune 10, which goes very, very quickly due to efficiency 10 and gets you a few thousand pretty fast, versus just using the quarry. I did move the quarry as well, but just manually mining it was faster. But first things first, let's go get the pieces to make this. Most of it's pretty straightforward. All right, I kind of wish I'd been filming while I did this, because this is a much larger rabbit hole than I had anticipated, mostly because I had to make all of the subcomponents for Desh and Calorite gears. But it was an awful lot of machines. Pretty much all the ones that don't have the soapstone facades and over the pipes. So it took quite a while to set this up. I also had to automate the creation of clay because I didn't really have a way to do it already. This is kind of slow, but it's good enough for my purposes. Because one of the things we need for the core drill is drilling fluid, which is lubricant, water, and clay dust. So I think I've got everything I need to set up the core drill now. It's all sitting in the shulker box right here. And let's be clear, this is one big chunky boy, and it's a 14 by 14 structure that's pretty tall. 14 by 14 means it's symmetric evenly and not odd like most of the rest of my base here. So we need to go find a new home for this instead. And I think I'm just going to shove it right here on the side of my base right here, where I went and blew up that village up there, because it should fit right here. And it'll be tucked behind the side, not too far from my oil rig. So it'll sort of look like it fits in over here instead of inside my base. Now, to be honest, when I first saw it with its legs, I kind of wanted to make it the crowning top of my pyramid here. But, the whole even symmetry thing, and this is a 5-wide stair. So I am nothing but disappointed. But hey, surely I can build this all completely correctly and properly the very first time out, right? First go, I got this, don't I? This isn't going to take 15 minutes of fumbling or longer just trying to get everything in the right spots, is it? right, and with that, this big chunky miner is all set up. It only took me a little bit to figure out what was going on. The actual core mining drill unit has to be in this specific position, like centered to the right. Otherwise, it doesn't consider this to be a valid position. When I had it over here, it had wanted the hatches to be extending out to this side right here and ending right where it is right now. So in that position, they're now lined up properly. The hatches are all in the back. I need to run an AE2 connection out through the tunnel that I've got under my base to pop it up out of the ground and maybe snake it up this leg and run it all into up here. And then, also get power into this EV hatch. Not that I don't have power issues, because I was running out of power on my EV bank for some reason. I think I just had too much stuff running way too overclocked, but it was working last time I looked. But anyhow, let me go run a trunk. Well, I'm a little confused. I expected this to start working. It's got its drills. It's got its drilling fluid. It has power. Everything is hooked up back here, and I even remembered that I had to add a fluid output hatch for the core slurry, and it's apparently not running. Makes me wonder what I screwed up on here. Oh, I missed something very obvious, which is a very weird requirement, but it requires iron 28 EU of upgrades, which is only 4 turbo upgrades. There we go, now it's working. Another one that is noisy. Isn't sucking down all that much power. Thankfully, I don't think we need well, we're going to need a decent amount of this now that I'm thinking about it, but as a matter of fact, I might as well just lubricate this right. Oh, it didn't actually... It doesn't have efficiency. Interesting. So I can't actually speed this up. Do more turbo upgrades do anything? Oh, there we go. Now we have some efficiency. So let's speed this up. And yeah, that's still not too bad. Okay, and since I have these hatches blocked, because I want to make sure I know what I'm getting out of here, yep, core fragments and core slurry. The core slurry we already have a home from, so we can unblock that. But these core fragments do not. And let's go, I don't know. Seems like there should be somewhere important, but I'm like running out of space really, really quickly here. Although we are very close to the end of the pack now. So I guess I'll just toss this, yeah, right there is fine. And I don't really see any reason why we would ever want this to shut off at this point. It's not even expensive to run, although we might run out of dash. So we'll put in the biggest upgrade there for now, which should keep this from being a problem for pretty much forever. But we still need to go unblock the hatch so that it pulls these out. There we go. Now, you think this might be where we're going to call it for the episode, right? But we have one last minor task to do, and that's to process the core slurry in a centrifuge. Pretty easy peasy. It's just make a centrifuge and toss it in there, and pop out hard to make nuggets, which this is actually a pretty decent deal, especially for the iridium. The real question is if I have the materials to actually make a centrifuge. Okay, I do. That's good. It's been real dicey here, especially for anything that involves aluminum. So, yeah. But we can just add this to the end right here and let it always process. Now we just have to hook it all up. I didn't put a door here, which requires I walk all the way down here and back around again, though. Oh, you know what? I need to stop here and steal some aluminum, though, because I need import and export buses. Feels weird that I'm stealing from myself, though. All right, and with that... Now we are actually done. Although I do have concerns that I might be just about out of capacity on this cable, and, well, we can do one more machine. Ugh. But I suppose it's time to go dump out all the loot since it's super high level loot and pray we get something decent this time, right? Because we're certainly not just going to get garbage. Oh, and while I'm staring at this screen, I have made a decision. Because while I was waiting for materials so that I could make the core miner, I actually did some digging into the artifacts, and I started like right here with the first one that I was missing. And if we look at its loot table, it shows up in desert pyramids. I checked like 5 or 6 of them. I went and found a humongous desert and just started wandering around for a while. And they're not the normal desert temples. There's almost no vanilla ones in here. It's just the Jung's ones, and they're humongous. And it took 15 years, and I never found, well, any of the missing artifacts from the desert temple. So I'm just going to write off that whole category because it's completely luck-based, and I'm just kind of giving up on that. If I find more of them, so be it. Anyhow, let's go mash the collect all rewards button. And that is certainly a lot of stuff. All right, so we got a couple interesting things. One, we got a bunch of superconductors, which are just very expensive to make. You're required to make the quantum set, and I just haven't gotten around to it because I've been saving my digital circuits. So we'll get back to that soon. some free bedrock dust, which is nice, a bunch of random spectrum junk that is not useful other than maybe this wearable totem, some candy that I haven't eaten and probably can't make. Yep, I can't even look it up in REI, so I don't have the recipe for it. A quantum machine hull, which is super expensive, and I'll take that for free. And then some free highly advanced machine hulls, as well as a 256K storage cell that I will probably never use. I max them out at 64 because even that's ludicrous since I'm only using it for liquids. What we did get was 2 fancy swords. Oh wow, that was distressing. It just constantly does that, huh? That's not annoying at all. On right click, we can attack things. Oh, I gotta go find something to murder. Yes, this sheep right here will do. Right click. That's well, that's dead. That was distressing. What's the damage on this thing like? Huh. If this didn't make a constant pulsing annoying noise, this might actually be decent. Yeah, game, if it's all the same with you, I think I'm going to stick with my normal nanoblade because it doesn't make annoying noises. It doesn't matter how powerful it is, if it's just annoying. Anyhow, if you found the video interesting or entertaining, please consider like or subscribe if you're new. As always, I'm Ard. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.